from Kilimanjaro studio, this is the One Mic Show, the only show that discusses serious things in a funny way and funny things in a serious way. Live from Kilimanjaro studio, this is the One Mic Show, the only show that discusses serious things in a funny way and funny things in a serious way.
All right. Karibuni to this edition of the One Mic Show. Na ni furaha kujiunga nanyi wapenzi wasikilizaji, tukiwa tumekuandalia taarifa za kusisimua, mziki wa kata viungo na kindumbwendumbwe cha siasa au politics ukipenda. We are streaming live on Facebook and YouTube from Kilimanjaro studios outside Washington, D.C. So please remember to like our live streams. Our YouTube page is now active and kicking. So make sure you go there and subscribe. Now, later tonight in the social segment, we'll be discussing why we have been programmed to only have kids after marriage. We will explore the idea of platonic and conscious co-parenting, where adults who are not romantically linked agree to raise a child together. So stay tuned for that. Na bila kusahau, tutapokea mziki toka DJ wetu machachari mleta habari yule DJ OmoshFaya, na tutadunda kule viwanjani na Micah jezi yake nambari 7 mgongoni akituletea habari za michezo. So moja kwa moja toka Kilimanjaro studios ni mimi mtangazaji na mwanahabari wako mpendwa Ali Badawy. Wengine wananiita mteule, kule kwetu mniite mjukuu wa Masai. Because I'm Kenyan by blood, American by design, Masai by choice. Sichagui, sikagui na sibagui. Karibuni tena.
Now, let's talk politics.
Now in politics this hour, we'll talk everything crypto and digital currencies. Why should we care about them? What makes the technology appealing, and what are some of its dangers and risks? We'll also try to find out if this technology may phase out digital wallets like Mpesa, so stay tuned for that. And I'm your news and politics anchor Ali Badawy. It's Friday the 18th of February 2022, and we're coming to you live from Kilimanjaro studios outside Washington, D.C. Please remember to subscribe to our One Mic Show YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram at One Mic Show. Now on panel with me tonight is Mr. One Mic Kamakawa. We have our resident DJ OmoshFaya, and our sports anchor Micah will be joining us. Our super producer tonight is none other than Mubelwa Bandio. And to get the show started tonight, I don't know whether I should start with this. There's a pop quiz that I have, a quick pop quiz. But I think I'm gonna wait for OmoshFaya to get on the panel to get that pop quiz in. There's a question that I wanna ask. And I want you to pay attention.
Shoot.
So here's a question, you know, and maybe even Omosh can answer from wherever he is. What is the fastest way to send, if you have a big project in 254, you need $1 million to get there? What is the fastest way to do that? And how fast will it get there?
What? $1 million?
Yeah, $1 million. Or let's not even say $1 million. Let's even say $500,000. You know, it's just a lot of money. You need to get it there.
It's through a bank.
And
because I'm thinking of other small financial joints that are available.
But how long will a bank take?
There's a lot of clearance. There's a lot of maybe 3-4 business days.
Okay. We're talking
probably. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. We're talking about wire transfers.
Yeah. $500,000.
Okay.
Maybe Omosh is the one who's capable of sending all that.
Okay, OmoshFaya, what's the fastest way to send money to Kenya? You know, like if you have a big project, this money is urgent, it needs to be there as quickly as possible. Daily Meiva. What's the fastest way? And this also goes out to the people who are watching us. Give us your answers. What's the fastest way?
Well, I think what Uno said was the bank transfer, bank to bank
transfer.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether Micah is already there.
Electronic.
Okay. All right. When Micah comes there, I want to get his answer. Now I can see, you know, like an answer here coming on live chat from Slay. She says, I think bank 2. DJ Tucha says cash in a suitcase. DJ Tucha got it right. That is the correct answer.
What? Uyu tucha uyu.
No, but that's the fastest way.
That's the fastest way.
Yeah, a bank, you know,
Yeah.
like a wire transfer.
Yeah, but
It's
cash
gonna take-
cash in a suitcase is a very wide answer. Does that mean that you're actually getting on a plane and taking the
Yes,
stuff?
yes, that's the
So
fastest
yes,
way.
then it needs to be the whole thing. DJ Tusha, you are wrong.
No,
Ding.
no,
He's
hapana.
wrong.
No,
He's
I'm,
wrong.
I am the marking scheme.
Marking scheme kwenda
I'm
huko.
the marking
Wewe na
scheme
DJ
here.
Tusha, wrong, both of you.
Yeah, that's the fastest way because a wire transfer is gonna take a couple of days. If
Yeah,
you're
to
lucky,
To be clear, especially for
Yeah.
a large amount, yes.
Yes.
yeah, it's gonna take a
Because
couple
they
of
even
days.
want to know where
Yes.
the
Ulipata pesa wapi?
source
Yeah.
of the income. Yeah. Are
Yeah,
you
so
doing
that's just
I'm
what.
I'm not saying that Tucha has done it before. I'm just saying.
No, maybe him and that guy who was caught with 234 million could be related. You never
Yeah,
know.
Yeah,
and now
carry
you
on.
see that's the reason.
$2
That's the
million.
reason
The guy
why.
had $2 million in a suitcase.
But
In a package. Actually, it was a package which he declared. Oh, sorry.
but here you see that's the reason why their technology is coming up because there are situations. I mean, that money maybe was for something illegal. We don't know, but there's a need. You know, like the world right now has a need to get money back and forth international borders.
Yes.
quick. And the
Yes.
quickest way to do that is hopping on a plane with a cash,
Legal
and going
or
to
not
another
legal
country.
doesn't
Yeah.
matter, but just getting the cash
Yes,
there.
just getting the
Okay.
cash there. That's the
Got it.
fastest
So
way.
should
Okay.
we have said the Somali bank?
No, even Hawala cannot get that amount of money. There's a limit Hawala can get. Hawala is like Sendwave. You know, like they are bound by their limits. Their amount limits that they can't send daily or through a certain number of days. So when we're talking a big amount like $500,000, you can't go to the Habshil and tell them, you know, like send for me this
I
$500,000.
thought them they do that one of the collar chap on the other side and tell him wewe peleke zodo.
But they have a limit. They have a daily limit at which you can do that. It's not any amount. But anyway, to get us started tonight, most of us have heard about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And in the last few years, it has witnessed, you know, like several investors cashing in on astronomical gains in the crypto market.
Yes.
Now, questions, however, have come up due to the volatility of currencies such as Bitcoin and a plethora of other cryptocurrencies. Now, central banks around the world have given cryptos a wide berth, except for El Salvador, where Bitcoin is now legal tender, which is very interesting. You know, you can go and buy and sell with Bitcoin in El Salvador. Now, countries such as Nigeria, the Bahamas, and 6 other Caribbean islands have launched digital versions of their own currency, meaning they're active right now. The other countries, including China, South Africa, the Emirates, and Russia, they're among 15 countries that have active pilot programs for digital currencies, which means it's a pilot that's actually active. And then Kenya Central Bank recently released a 28-page research summary on the viability of a digital Kenyan shilling. So before I get to the panel on board for this conversation, it's important, first of all, to know the difference between digital currency and cryptocurrency because I find that this sometimes are used interchangeably. Now, a digital currency is a digital format of a paper currency like the US dollar or even the Kenyan shilling regulated by a central bank or the Federal Reserve in the case of the United States. Now, cryptocurrencies, on the other hand, are outside the realm of any government control. They are built on blockchain technology with no single entity in their control. Now, I want us to get started, you know, like now with a panel on why people should care or know about this recent digital money phenomenon. And the reason why I asked this, the first question that I asked, how quick can we get, you know, like a big amount of money, you know, like from Kenya to the US? One of the reasons why people prefer these crypto channels, this is one of those ways that you can actually do it. You know, like it may not be as immediate as taking it by plane, but this is one of the technologies that's supposed to solve that problem. So we want to know why people should start caring about this digital money phenomenon, especially people who are people who don't care about crypto, or people who are crypto skeptics. Why should they care about this? So, OmoshFaya, let me start with you.
You know, this whole thing of the digital currency, basically for us, the good thing for us is that, like you said, it opens up that ability to transfer money. Then the other thing that it also does for us as well is allow for money to to move from basically across mobile wallets. You know, like let's say if you want to do what is it called, Safcom to Airtel or to Telcom, you now no longer have these restrictions because you're actually using digital money. And to me, I think I just see this as a plus. It's a big plus for us if we can pull it off. That's the key for me, is if we can pull it off. We already have Mpesa, which is digital money. So why wouldn't we be able to pull it off with our own currency instead of actually carrying a Thao note? I actually have it in my wallet and it's accepted or acceptable such that I would really not need to carry cash, period. I mean, I think even I remember in December when I went home, I went, I think, the first 2 weeks without actually touching Kenyan money because of the ability to use M-Pesa to transact. But now you've reduced all these things of fees, all those
Transaction
things,
costs.
all that stuff is, and guess what? It's free because we don't get charged to use cash money. So the same thing with digital currency, you're not being charged. So it's a win-win.
And you see that's a reason why, you know, like one of the, you know, I want us also to talk about the appeal about cryptocurrencies, you know, like why, and remember, you know, like we want to distinguish digital and cryptocurrencies, you know, like cryptocurrencies, you know, like bypass, you know, like the banking system, but digital currencies are pegged to the currency, you know, like to the US dollar or to the Kenyan shilling. And of course, you've talked about one of the appeals is the ability to exchange money without the involvement of fees.
Correct.
Kama vile, you know, like just like the way, for example, like Cash App.
Ile ya kutoa na ya ku nini? What is it? Kuna ya kusukuma na ya kutoa.
Yeah, you know,
Sender gets charged, receiver gets charged.
Yeah, you know, and any step, you know, like any step that the money takes, you know, like you send it from SendWave, there's a fee, you know, that rate differential. When that person goes to withdraw that money, there's a fee. They send it to someone else. Anytime it moves, there's a fee. So at the end of it, there's a lot of money. I know Micah's already gotten on the phone, but let me quickly just see a few comments here. You know, Pablo was saying, was asking rather, the question was just how would you send money? It does not speak how fast you need the money to clear. You know, like and then Washeke says, I was thinking the same. When the cash be confiscated at customs, I didn't say legal. You know, like this, you know, what I was asking.
It was a general question. It was a general question.
It was just a general
if,
question.
You know, if you had to move it, how would you move it?
How would you move it?
Yeah.
And then, you know, like, and then, you know, Pablo says it cannot pass through the airport. But you see, the funny thing is that you actually have that money passing through airports. You know, with this recent case that happened at JKIA, this guy was caught. But what does that tell you?
He declared, though. You know, that's the thing. He had declared, because that thing came in a parcel. So he was asked to declare. He declared that Sasa issue yake is his declaration originally, and then now when he wanted to move it, was different.
Was different, yeah.
Yes.
So that shows
But
that
then
this is something that happens.
There's a limit of the amount of cash you can move around with.
No, there's a legal limit to the amount of cash that you can move around with. That's right. But what I'm saying is that I strongly believe that cash passes through there illegally too.
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Cash
Yeah,
passes
yes,
through
it
there
does.
illegally.
Which airport?
Yep.
Which one?
JKIA.
JKIA.
Of course.
Yes.
Ay, my goodness.
All airport, not JK. All airport, not JKA.
I mean, you can walk in with 10K on you and keep it moving in dollars. But they say that's the limit. But if you have 20K, I mean, you're carrying it on your person or it will go through.
Okay.
I'm not telling you to do it.
No, absolutely not.
Okay. All right. So as we try to I don't know that Mika is still there. Ngoja, we're gonna try to sort
I'm still here.
okay. Unatusikia vizuri?
Can you hear me
I
now?
can't hear you, but I can hear myself.
Okay.
I can hear you much, yeah.
Okay, great. So Mika, what we're talking about here was cryptocurrency, you know, like what is the appeal? You know, like the people who hold cryptocurrency. Now let's forget about digital currency for a minute. Cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, and all these other cryptocurrencies. What's the appeal behind holding these currencies? Mika.
Okay, so the most important appeal for people who hold cryptocurrencies and who don't know how crypto operates it's usually the financial benefits of all the crypto. Most people do anticipate when you buy a coin that your coin is going to be put into production and then with a limit, and it's going to be accepted to be as a medium of transaction through the various wallets, and it gains value through that, and thus you gain. Crypto is looked at by most people as an investment because they are rare. They're not things that you can find just easily. Like you find those expensive coins, those coins like Bitcoin, Ethereum. They have a cap, they have a limit. So right now they're quite rare coins to find, but they're coins that are readily available, easily transactable, and readily accepted. Even we have major multinationals who are accepting trading in those coins. That's what makes the appeal to crypto. Most people are into crypto because they see them as investment vehicles. Now, one thing that I've always talked about crypto and NFTs and where we're going right now, which is more to a digital world like the metaverse, is that our kids already live in the metaverse. If you have a kid, they either play Minecraft or Roblox, or one of those games whereby they're building a house, they have a community, they're building a city, they're building whatever it is that they're building in that universe. So our kids already are living that world. We are the ones who are catching up with them. That is where it's going. That is where everything is going. And that thing is on what happens that is transactable in such a world like that. It's something that's going to be unregulated. It's not tied to any country or any, its value is not tied to any country or to any measure like gold or reserves or oil reserves. It's more based on how its rarity and how readily acceptable it is in that universe there, that world that where most people are going. We are social media, internet-driven society. Our kids are way ahead of us in that part. We're in a point of life whereby people want to live beyond their reality. If you look at Instagram, people to those Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, everybody is perfect at what they're doing. Nobody posts their imperfection. So if we can give people that world whereby you can live your fantasies in what you want to do, this is where that thought comes in that crypto, which was already there. This money that's somewhere in the cloud, it's gaining value. It's acceptable with everywhere it goes. Doesn't have any regulations. Can be traded to buy anything in this world where all of us can be whatever we want. So it's that the thing that will make even the government-backed digital money is not even catch on crypto is that digital money is still pegged on the same currency. It's just that they're running away from paper and going digitally like everything else. We don't send mail these days, we send emails. We don't pay with checks, we pay by credit card. So we don't exchange money by cash, we're exchanging it digitally. It doesn't make any difference. It doesn't gain any value. Still the same money, still the same currency. A dollar is a dollar, shilling is a shilling. Whereby on crypto, it's something that is unique, that is not easy to find, not regulated, isn't pegged against anybody's reserves. It gains its value based on its popularity, its rarity, and how readily acceptable it is. So that's where the difference comes in.
Okay.
I have tried to talk about this with as little tech, community technology, so if it doesn't make sense,
Yeah. Now, very good, analysis there from Micah. Here's the issue, like from a financial perspective, like I personally have with crypto. And again, we're distinguishing this from digital currency. Because digital currency is essentially just the regular paper currency, but in a digital format. The cryptocurrency, like fluctuates. There's of course, some stable coins, But the popular, like digital currencies like Bitcoin, their value goes up and down depending on demand and supply. Now, here's the issue I think that's there with its purpose as a medium of exchange. Because money has an appeal because, of course, it's legal tender and it's a medium of exchange. You go anywhere, it will be accepted. The reason why, like crypto has currently set up, the Bitcoins and the other popular ones, has currently set up, the reason why they're going to struggle, finding acceptance as a medium of exchange is because of the volatility. Like if you're a business and maybe you sell, let's say you sell flags, and you can sell a flag today, and tomorrow, whatever money you got from the sale of that flag through cryptocurrency can be down 10%.
Yes.
I think that's something that a lot of businesses will be uncomfortable with, especially in the short term, the volatility. And I think that's what makes it difficult to have Bitcoin as a medium of exchange. Now, Bitcoin right now is being used not as was originally intended by the creators, because the original creators wanted it to be a medium of exchange outside the system.
Yes.
Outside the central banking system.
Outside of regulation.
Anonymous.
Yes.
It was really like a barter system
Yes.
initially when it first came out.
Yes, it was anonymous.
In about 2008 because of the financial thing.
Yes, the anonymity. But now I think because, people started buying it and keeping it, and because the number was limited and the price started shooting up.
But then
so
also
people took it as not necessarily to use as a medium of exchange, but as an investment, meaning I'm keeping this and I'm waiting for it to get to a certain value because the value had been shooting up. So that in itself makes it will still have an appeal to people who want anonymity from the system for whatever reason.
Yes.
Whether you just want anonymity or whether, like what you're doing is illegal, or if you live in a country where the currency is no longer good, like for example, Zimbabwe, for example. Yeah, Zimbabwe. And then of course, there's certain countries where people like programmers, like who are working in places like I think Bangladesh, it's hard to get a payment from the people who they're working for, let's say like in the US.
Yeah.
So this will still have, like some appeal there. But I think the digital coins, what I like about them is that they've made, they've made central banks move to the idea of a digital currency. And to me, I think eventually these digital currencies are gonna win, and we see countries like Nigeria already have one, Nigeria has a very big and banked population. Yes, Micah.
But this is where I don't agree with you. Because the thing is the digital currencies that the countries are making is just a move from the paper cards. Because where we're going in the world right now is we're going in a world whereby everybody has a form of digital media with them, right? And money transfer business is picking up. They're making a lot of money from that, which the Federal Reserve, the central bank, can make that money. And also one thing we see is that with the regulation they put onto them, because they have limits on how much the money can be exchanged, right? And these people are putting costs onto consumers, and consumers are in turn turning back to their main banking systems and complaining because these companies tell them that, this thing is coming from your bank. Right now, we are seeing banks working together to move money digitally without the use of cash. It's safer, whereby stick-ups are not that often. Fraud is going low because your digital wallet is tied to you. And we're going to a point in the world whereby everything people are doing right now, they are avoiding going to brick and mortar. So like something like the post office. The post office the post office was killed by online banking. The ability to pay bills online killed the post office because you did not buy stamps to send every bill a check. You started paying bills online. You killed nearly a third of the revenue for the post office. So, if central bank can create a way for you to buy nyanya 10 bob for 10 bob without fees, without carrying money, and without them tolerating a company like Mpesa, it's a win for central bank. Digital money will never be like crypto because the way digital money is, it's going to be good in your country, or you can use it for foreign exchange. But the difference within digital money and crypto is where technology is taking us. They will have to come and agree on one medium of transaction. I don't see any country folding its supremacy of its currency just to be able to have a common trader in places like, again, I'll say the metaverse, or places like that, those which are coming up. Crypto will always have a place. As you said, transactions that need to remain anonymous, transactions that need to transcend borders without any traceability, and with huge money movement.
Yes. So
Right now, if you want to move millions, you can move it quite easily within countries by crypto.
yes.
I don't see how digital currencies are going to agree to do that, because all they're doing is replacing the paper currency they're using right now.
That's right, Mika.
So-
and I think we're in,
Crypto is never going anywhere.
yeah, I think we're in agreement here. And like I said, like the crypto will always have an appeal. It's just not necessarily gonna be legal. Now, a country like El Salvador has accepted it as legal tender because El Salvador also had their currency kind of collapse. Like a country like Zimbabwe, had their currency collapse. What I was trying to imply is that the reason why crypto, may not have as wide appeal when it comes to buying nyanya, like from a mamboga,
It's the volatility.
or like,
I agree with you. on that
or
one.
like buying or these small transactions is the volatility part of it. Like
Makorofia.
there's no business.
Yeah.
There's no business that wants that uncertainty
No.
of the money that you receive today could be either less or more, 10%, 20% tomorrow. There's that, and that's where, like the digital currencies that are being issued by central banks, which is already happening, are gonna win. And there's some countries that are actually making, like Bitcoin illegal. For example, China, and remember China, that's
Yes.
1 in 5 people in the world. They're making it illegal. So
And we
Bitcoin
also
will,
have a few countries in Europe who are doing that.
yes. So Bitcoin will always have a place, and I think that technology can also be used for a lot of other things beyond just exchange of finances. And I think we're also going to talk about, but I first want to remind the listeners that you're tuned into the Politics Hour of the One Mic Show. We're talking about the explosion and appeal of crypto and digital currencies. Now, later in the hour, we'll talk about digital currencies and blockchain technologies, how they might affect the way we remit money back home, because I think that's very important to a lot of people, even people who don't care about crypto. So I want you to stay tuned for that. Then please, to everyone who's viewing or listening, remember to share our live stream and like our Facebook page. We are also now active on both Instagram and on YouTube. We're going to place a link for our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is popping like nobody's business. So I want you to go there and click subscribe, so that we can get rotation. Yeah. So
To do what?
click subscribe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that we can get rotation and keep spreading the word. But before we continue, Uno, please tell us what we have in store tonight in the social segment.
Social segment. If you guys, if you haven't, go and research about a guy called Van Jones. Van Jones was in the Obama administration at one point. There was some Madogodanio. Then he became a political commentator. He's now with CNN. I don't know if he's still there. But anyway, Van Jones and a friend, lady friend,
Oh, okay.
Wali Kubaliana, Van Jones wanted to have a child.
Mm-hmm.
The lady friend wanted to have a child. Wakaongea, wakakubaliana. What's up?
And they made a baby.
And they made a baby.
Walidinyana.
Well, actually, they had a baby.
Walidinyana.
we shall discuss the process, or thereof, or there not of.
Now, quick, was Van Jones, did Van Jones, have another, is he married? Is he single? This other lady, is she married? Or or that doesn't have anything to do?
He's a father of two.
It's
Who wanted
complicated.
another kid.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's divorced, which it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Because the question is, you have a friend, Ali, and your friend comes and says, Ali, I want a baby. Tusaidiane. Unaweza nipatia mbegu.
Okay.
Hala.
All right. So that's going to be in the social segment. Want you to stay tuned.
You see the way he dismissed that?
Is that a sponyo or a sponsor?
It doesn't matter.
Yes,
Carry on.
that's going to be in that question. Keep it there. Bring it in the social segment. We want to move on now. According to U.S. banking regulator FDIC, the U.S. has approximately 7 million people that were unbanked. That was as of 2019. In Kenya, about 20% of adults are unbanked. That's 1 in 5 people.
Define unbanked.
Unbanked meaning they don't have a bank account.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't have a bank account. And across sub-Saharan Africa...
I want a bank, I want a circle, I want anywhere of money.
Yeah, so they don't...
Like typical your
yeah, and then across sub-Saharan Africa, about 350 million people are also unbanked. And this is according to the World Bank. Remember, 350 million is more than the population of the U.S.
Yes.
That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people. That's like more than... that's
a lot of
almost
people,
40%
yeah.
of the continent is unbanked. Which brings me to, like my next question here, which I want people to contemplate about. What effect might this new wave of digital currencies, not crypto, because remember, people who are unbanked are not, necessarily, they're thinking of a way of buying nyanya and buying, like those small transactions. So,
for the bank.
so what effect might this new wave of digital currencies, what might it have on people who are unbanked, who have no access, either who are unbanked because the bank will not give them an account? Because remember, there's 7 million people in the US. People think US, everyone has a bank account. There are some people who do not qualify to open bank accounts. And I know that because I used to be a banker. There are people who are not qualified to open bank accounts.
Right.
In the
Ali,
United
is there a
States.
job you didn't do?
But Ali, Ali is a jack
He
of all
was
trades.
a watchman, a janitor,
I'm
and then
experienced.
his other name was Kizito. Was that?
was Zambezi. Zabanga.
Zabanga.
But let me ask you, Ali, though.
Yes.
And when you say unbanked, they're not with a bank. But Mpesa filled that void. But I'm asking.
True. Mpesa filled the void of
Not
being
needing a
able
bank.
to transact.
Transact.
Yeah,
But
there's a lot of
not-
other
but
services.
that's
There's a
not
lot of other
banking.
services that banks offer that Mpesa doesn't. And of course,
Correct.
Mpesa is trying, like through Fuliza and everything.
Oh,
And
so like
Mshwari.
the lending of money,
Yeah. And then
Open
also
Mpesa.
remember,
Okay, got
there's
it.
also a
Okay.
limit to how much money you can have in Mpesa.
Okay.
In
Not
your
like
wallet.
a bank.
All right.
In your mobile
Yeah.
wallet.
Okay.
Yeah.
In your mobile wallet.
I
Yeah,
just
a bank is-
wanted
a
at
bank is
least
unlimited.
the clarification on that, so that if somebody is listening, they'll be like, okay, Mpesa filled a small void,
Yeah.
but not the whole banking.
Yes, it did feel a certain void, like it did eat, like the lunch for banks that banks could have eaten,
Yeah.
but they didn't.
Mhm.
But then, like there's still, even for those people who have access to Mpesa,
Yes.
there's some who are still unbanked.
Yes,
and those
absolutely.
banking services,
They don't have.
they don't have, and they're still needed.
Yes.
So that's why we're talking about this concept of a digital currency. Because, remember, with this digital currency, the supply, it's going to be like a direct supply of currencies. Like Pesayako, it's kind of like you have an account with the central bank.
Got
Yeah.
it. Okay.
It's kind of like you have an account with the central bank.
Ali,
Got it.
Yes,
okay,
Mika.
for me, I think it's going to be a positive impact on that because, as you said, a digital currency, you need a digital wallet. You need a wallet. So it's either the banks are going to cover that gap, the banks will convert it to wallet, or other companies which are going to come and offer themselves as wallet services are going to be the ones which are going to be the banking. We have seen that even crypto wallet companies right now, Crypto.com, Webull, Binance, all of them are offering crypto services and banking services. They have debit cards, they have credit cards. So it's going to trickle down to that because if the digital currency is there and the central bank says it's not a banker for people, it's a banker for the government. So basically, they'll want people to come ahead and be the wallet, which are going to be the bank. So it's going to be a positive impact to people who are not banked right now to get access to banking.
Yes.
Because hakuna zile check systems, hakuna sijui nini. It's just about your money. You want to put it somewhere, we'll put it for you. We'll allow you to transact it with you. We'll allow you to do stuff with you.
Now,
So those wallets will also want to make money, and they offer banking services.
now, and here is where, you know, like, I think we also need to distinguish. So this digital currencies are gonna be outside the digital wallets. You know, you're not gonna be getting your money through Mpesa. You know, it will be a way of getting your money directly, because when we're exchanging money, let's say like I owe Uno some money, I can pay him directly without going through a digital wallet like
So it's
Mpesa.
paying somebody, yes.
Yeah, or if I wanna
But
go
let
buy
somebody store your
something,
money.
I wanna go buy coffee, you know, like I can go to the coffee shop and exchange, because the coffee shop also has, you know, like a digital currency, if you wanna call it wallet or whatever you wanna call it. It has a digital currency account, so you move it there. Which brings me to my question: is there a possibility that this digital currency might be an existential threat to digital wallets like Mpesa, and even to banks as we know them today? Because if the central bank has created, you know, like a digital wallet for everyone who has a Huduma number or an ID number for that matter. I know Huduma is a trigger number for some people who paid a lot of money to come get it, and then it was declared illegal.
Omosh will catch feelings. So relax.
Yeah, but that's a story for another day. Let's say like this is made available for everyone
Yes.
who has an ID.
Yes.
You know, so essentially a bank as it exists today, you
Central
know,
bank.
yeah, and of course also these M-Pesas and
Yes.
other digital wallets.
Yes.
Does the existence get threatened
Of-
by the presence of this digital wallet?
Of
Yeah.
Because
course.
it's free.
Of course. Okay,
Yes,
Mika,
it
go ahead.
does. Yes, it does. No, of course it does. Because one thing, Ali, as you said, people will decide. Because digital, you having your money digitally is the same as you having your money in your mattress. Unaweza kuwa na 1 million in your mattress, unaweza in your mattress. Unaweza kuwa na 1 million kwa simu. Right? Banks make money when they have your money. We invest. Ndio watengeneze nayo pesa alafu wakunini. So, if you can carry 1 million on your phone and feel comfortable about it, it's not secured, anybody can get to it, you're fine. If you can have a wallet to protect your money, mtu hawezi akikunyang'anya simu hawezi access to wallet yako hivyo, because you want to protect yourself, it's also a fine thing. So banks will have to, number one, A, conform to the regulation that the central bank is giving them. Number two, B, offer competitive prices to the consumers. Kwa sababu saa hii, I don't need to come to your check systems mnifungulie account. I don't need to come to your brick and mortar to bring my money there, to deposit my money there. I have my money with me. You will come to me. Mtakuja kunipigia magoti, mnibembeleze, niwapatie pesa yangu mniwekee. So it gives the consumers the power of how they want to use their money and how they want to keep their money safe. So I feel it's gonna be a very big effect of banks. They will have to start adjusting their fees and whatever services they're offering be more consumer friendly than it is right now.
Yes, and I totally agree with you, Mika. DJ Tucha says current banking practices are a cake. It seems like in the end, a digital currency will make traditional banking extinct. That's a possibility as it's currently, you know, structured. But I think also the banks, you know, are not gonna take, because they're seeing what's happening. They will have to renovate, and they'll have to figure out what value they'll be giving to people. Mika talked about check systems. For those who don't understand, you know, like check system is a system that banks use to determine whether you qualify to open an account. So if you went and had an overdraft in another bank, and then ukamua hautalipa hiyo pesa, and then you decided that, you know, like, I'm going to go open an account in another bank, guess what? When you're opening an account, they're going to run your name and your social through your check systems. If your name is there, unaambua pole, we can't open an account for you, and you can't, and it's a database that's accessible to all banks. And that's where now there are some people who now have to get their paper checks and go to check cashing places, which is also a very expensive way of getting your money.
But check systems is something that works only in the U.S. at this point, right?
No, check systems is in the U.S.
It is in the U.S., right?
Is in the U.S. In
But
Kenya,
there's similar types of clearing
But
houses.
in Kenya they do. In Kenya they have a similar system like check system. Nimesahau, but if you mess up at KCB, ukienda Equity utafungua account.
Now, and in Kenya may improve. In Kenya, it used to be worse. There was a time when you actually needed a referral to open a bank account.
Somebody
and this
from
is not
that,
too long ago.
Somebody from that in the last 5 years.
Recently,
Yeah.
In the last 5 years.
It's
Maybe
not
in the
it's not
last
too
10,
long
15
ago.
years.
I think Equity is the one that came and changed the game. Like once they started giving accounts to almost anyone who wanted to open an account, I think that's when these other bigger banks, these other bigger boys had to style up. And had to meet the market where it is. It was very difficult, like sometimes,
you needed a referral.
like banks in itself, ulikuwa unaweza kwenda kuingia bank hivi, the security guard at the door decides you're not banking material. Akatae tu uingie.
You're not bankable.
Yeah, you're not bankable.
So if you're working like with Omosh with his fancy hairdo.
No, yeah,
Anasema he's profiled.
Yeah, he would profile you. Banks were some of those places where you would see from a distance.
No offense, brother.
And not even open an account. But
Unajua kitambo before ende kwa bank ulikuwa na dress up.
That is true. That is true. No, Micah is very right.
Yes. Ukienda na jeans na t-shirt, unaweza friziwa hapo kwa
Yeah,
mlango.
kwanza if you have that Baltimore starter pack.
Yeah, unafriziwa.
Na nyinyi wawili by the way mtacha hiyo mambo ya Baltimore startup.
Sasa
Na nyinyi wawili mtawacha hiyo mambo, and by the way I am going to rally my Baltimore crew.
direct that to the person who said
Muwache.
it. Direct that to the
Wewe
person who
mambo
said it.
ya Tusker
So-
t-shirts
so-
and
so-
Timberlands
so-
na wewe na hiyo mambo mtawacha.
So
Wewe muendelee.
who is he gonna get? The dual guy to help him.
Hey.
Maybe they'll come together in a duel.
Yeah.
And Ninias.
You guys, you know what? Ask Kainel.
But now
Carry on.
let's continue with the show.
Even him is on the same starter pack. So what's the difference?
No, he's not at the same startup pack.
Let's
That is your boy. Carry on.
Yeah, let's continue with the show. So basically,
Mr.
banks
Crypto, by the way, but go ahead.
banks had to style up, because of what Equity did, and of course also what Mpesa brought about. So they had to catch up. They had to play catch up to what was happening.
I was going to ask this, and I don't know if it was part of your career, but maybe I'm thinking ahead. With the fact that digital currency is being introduced, see, Gava is trying to say, you know what, and everybody on a smartphone,
Mhm.
everyone in Kenya probably, even Shosho,
Mhm.
kuna ya Mpesa lakini kuna ile ya ma video call. So with the ability to do with the digital currency, if they're told you don't have to worry about a fee to transact, you can just pay one fee per month, 10 shillings, and you can transact as much as you want.
For Mpesa now, for the
No.
digital currency.
Digital currency,
Yeah.
forget Mpesa.
Yeah.
Because for every transaction, depending on what you're using with Mpesa,
Mhm.
there's a fee.
There's a fee. Yes, that's right.
Whether you're using a pay bill number, because there's some pay bills, there's no fee.
Pay
There's
bill is
some-
free.
But there's someone who's
No,
paying.
there's some. There's someone who's
There's someone
paying.
who's paying. It could be
pay
the
bill is
person you're
free.
purchasing from. There's
Yes.
someone who's paying for any
So there's
transaction.
a fee. So sometimes there's some places you go, unaona 23 bob or whatever it is.
Mhm.
But here comes, and you know what? Because I was even curious with Airtel. How does Airtel function? Because I would be I would like to get an Airtel whatever and see. Because I was asking somebody if Airtel money is used as much as M-Pesa. Boss, I was going to buy a KQ flight. I could use M-Pesa, but I'm like, can I use Airtel money?
Now, Airtel
Yeah.
money, I think Airtel to Airtel is
free.
Is free.
It
Airtel
is,
to
yeah.
Airtel
Yeah,
is
and I've never understood why people have not flocked to that. Airtel to Airtel.
I don't
It's just
get it.
marketing. It's
I've
just
never
marketing.
understood.
It's really marketing.
It
the difference.
It maybe not even be marketing. It is probably programming where guys are just used to this
M-Pesa,
program works.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
that one.
watu wamezoea
M-Pesa.
Safaricom, right? Now wamezoea M-Pesa. But Airtel has always been above, even in areas where there were no signals or whatever. Airtel, for whatever reason, Kwanza Ocha,
I'm gonna
where,
go get an Airtel
where we
line.
used to stand on top of a tree or you stand on a rock and then you lift one leg and then you get a signal. Airtel always worked.
T-Mobile roams on Airtel. Like when I go back to Kenya,
Yeah,
T-Mobile,
yeah.
like if you pay that roaming plan,
Yeah.
they have a very good roaming plan. 50 bob, You can make calls back and forth to the US.
$50 or 50 shillings?
50. I mean, you know
No,
what
please.
I mean.
No, I don't know. I don't know.
$50.
Okay, sawa.
I thought T-Mobile was free.
For
Bila
the
hiyo.
ones that have
No,
got money, it's
no,
$50.
there's a free version. With the free version, you can't make the calls. There's some data that you get, you know, like
Okay.
with your standard one. But
Okay.
if you want to make calls back and forth, and then if you want, you know, like, I think it's 4G or 4G or 5G data,
But
whatever
it's
they have.
3G.
Yeah.
It's 3 or 2G.
So when you pay that
No,
50 bob,
I've been a victim.
essentially you don't need a Kenyan
You don't need a
phone
Kenyan line.
when you go, unless now you want to use Mpesa, of course. Then you're
Yes,
forced to
whatever to change.
get a Safaricom line.
Yeah.
So
But
yeah.
I think it's something also to career to explore. But I was just curious. With if I think that if the digital currency really hits,
Mhm.
depending on what, because I think the government is going to come in cheap. Even if they say, you know what, you can pay 100 shillings a month, and your transactions are free. You don't have to worry about anything. I'm just giving an example where you're not, because you know there's 12. You know, like, you know, if I send you money
Mhm.
at the ya kutoa,
Yeah.
at there's a 12 shilling whatever.
Yeah.
If I send Omosh, there's something. Micah calls at yoga the mazee, nataka drink moja, unamtumia nini, lakini na za kutoa, right? So at some point, even hizo za kutoa, they add up. But if, let's say, for example, there is a cap, let's say what government says, you know what, we'll do 100 shillings, unlimited transaction withdrawal, whatever it is, on the digital currency.
Yeah.
only.
So on the digital currency, the idea behind it is like it's like cash. So there is no transaction charge.
None
There's
whatsoever.
Yes.
There's no 100 bob a
Yeah.
month.
My friend.
So essentially, it's like
It's
the way
cash,
you
but
can
it's
give
in-
me cash. It's the way you can give me cash. Unajua ile $100 unani oh. It's like sawa ingie kwa wallet yako.
It's cash up.
Uitoe,
It's
unipe
cash up
saizi na
bila
nichukue.
fee.
It's the same thing.
It's cash up bila fee.
Yeah.
Basically, almost what it is unarudisha pesa yako ile cash kwa bank, inakuja kwa simu na unaishia. Like basically,
It's
si
Zelle.
cash as in
It's
just
basically
that
Zelle.
Wow.
they're
Okay.
getting rid of printing money.
Yeah.
Sasa
So I
hapo
think what
Safaricom-
Omosha amesema,
What they're realizing is if the country goes full digital, there's no counterfeit money.
yeah, so I think what Omosha amesema
wash.
is an easy way to understand it. It's a cash up with no fees. Cash up, most transactions have no fees.
Yes.
But there's certain things that you need to pay fees. But this one is cash up. It's instant and it has no, you know, like it has no fees.
And also what Micah said,
Yeah.
there is no counterfeit.
Yes, because it's now digital.
It's digital.
Yeah, you know,
So
there's no
because
counterfeit.
the money has to, either you have to go put it in your bank account.
So here there's no bank account.
No. What
Yeah.
I'm saying,
So here there's
in
no
order-
bank
in-
account.
okay,
Yeah.
then for cash,
Yeah.
in order for you to have cash in your account,
Yeah.
okay, you have to have cash or money in an account.
In some account
In
with
some
the CBK,
account, with the
yes.
CBK.
Yes, we
Yes.
can put
Which
it there.
means that you can't be like in Girita and go with a rucksack.
No, you can't.
No, you need
That's what I'm saying.
you
That's
need a
what Micah is-
digital wallet, and in this case, the digital wallet is gonna be whatever is provided by.
I understand.
yeah.
But in order, you have the digital wallet. But in order for you to put money into that digital wallet,
Correct.
you can't go to a bank like in Girita with 52 million Kenya shillings.
You can.
You can, but of course, I'm sure there's going to be like, okay, well, the hope is
Whatever you put
so you-
into your physical is
Yeah, no,
gonna
no, but
translate
before
to
you-
your
So you can
wallet.
transfer it to a bank account. If you have a bank
Yes.
account, whatever
You link it.
whatever digital wallet you have from CBK, you'll have now to link it to your bank.
so to make a suggestion.
Yeah.
Mika amesema wash. How do you fight wash? Or can you contain wash?
Now this is gonna make wash more difficult.
Okay.
It's
That's what I was saying.
people.
That's what
Wash
Mika was saying.
people are always they're very innovative, you know. But this is gonna make wash much more difficult. But because wash sometimes involves a lot of
Digital.
cash, you know, it involves a lot of cash
It's
being
physical.
brought into the
They
system
deal with
and being
physical.
cleansed.
Yeah.
Now there's some
Digital money is very hard to do.
But before digital money
laundering,
becomes
because
digital,
for the fact yeah, the fact is that money
cash has to be
laundering
deposited.
is usually but money laundering
Right or wrong?
is usually cash in hand. Is usually cash in hand that you can't account for and then you try to
Right.
To
put
bring it
into
in the system.
Agreed.
Yeah.
But
So basically,
Yes.
if you all went digitally, like everything digital usually leaves a trace. There's nothing in the internet that doesn't leave a trace.
Yeah.
Everything leaves a trace.
So there's an
Right.
electronic trail.
So
agreed. So I think
Yeah,
that right there is going to be the problem.
it's gonna be hard.
Yeah. So it's gonna
Because of
make
the
it much
trail.
more harder.
Because if Ali brings like Ngirita 52 million and you deposit into your account, 52 million umetoka wapi?
It came from somewhere, you know,
Yes.
so it will easily be trailed.
And
You know,
lakini
they
you-
can follow, but cash,
When Karani earning 75,000 a month, hiyo ndio shida.
yeah. So anyway, you know, time is really running out. I really wanted
go ahead.
quickly to know, you know, like if also this, you know, I'm not 100% sure how it's gonna work when we're exchanging money between countries. For example, like the US has a digital dollar and Kenya has a digital shilling, you know, so I'm talking diaspora remittances. Will brokers like Sendwave be put out of business? Because now if there's a way in which I can send my money, you know, digitally from a US dollar to a Kenya shilling account on the exchange rate of that day, you know, like that in itself, because this is moving, it's trackable. It's trackable, you know, it's moving international borders.
You know,
Yeah.
But I think also
I think it's actually doable because the thing at the end of the day is just they're setting rates in themselves. The Federal Reserve, the federal banks are setting rates, right? So the Federal Reserve, the Central Bank, and all the other banks, they're going on this exchange rate. And then if you're just sending it to somebody, your digital ID is probably your phone number. And then my phone number is my digital ID. So if I send you $10, whatever the banks have agreed is the exchange rate, you just get that because it's being tracked and everything. I think it's gonna be quite easy and cheaper because the exchange is gonna be done at the federal level with all of this intermediary.
I also think, you know, and
Yeah.
I think also, in a way, the government would want to make some money too, and especially with remittances. So if Ali is sending money, even if it's through Wave,
Mhm.
Wave themselves are going to charge a fee because Wave bases its fee based on central bank and what the exchange rate is.
They take a differential on the
Yes,
exchange rate,
yes.
yeah.
So in that differential, whatever it is,
Mhm.
they could say we'll take a shilling or two.
But now you see, the thing is, a central bank is not, you know, like when it comes to the supply and exchange of money,
Yeah.
they're not a profit-making enterprise. You know, so the more
But
the more
Uno-
dollars
Uno-
can come in,
What I'm saying is, even if they're not even profit, but that fee, whatever it is, they can charge. So they cannot charge a fee.
No,
to-
but Uno, forget the fee. Forget the fee.
Because
What-
all
what-
I'm
what-
thinking,
what I
all
was
I'm
saying
thinking,
was
all
like-
I'm thinking about is a fee that the government will charge Wave. Let's say they'll be like, you know what, for processing or whatever it is, a fee will always come.
but now with the digital currencies, the government has eliminated Wave. You know, because you're
Yeah, they don't
going
need
from
Wave. Look
you're
at
going
it.
from a digital dollar
Uno,
to a digital
Shilling.
Kenya shilling. So Wave has been eliminated. Mika.
Uno, look at it this way. Look at it this way, right? So, a dollar exchanges for $100, right? Like a dollar say for 100 shillings.
Yeah.
If it stands for 100 billion, the differential that Wave was doing was probably right. Like let's say if the shillings drops in value, equal 114, your differential here between 100 to the 114, Wave will economic donor of $14, right?
14 shillings.
14 shillings,
All these governments, they're 14 shillings. All these governments do is tell them this: no, we are pegging a standard exchange rate within this particular time. Hakuna kushuka value ama nini, because kushuka value inashuka value depending on how much money you have to trade in. But the fact that people are sending money back in and we are getting it for exact work, it's making our shilling stronger. So we are pegging them. You see the way the Arabian countries have done. A dirham will always remain $3. Haitwaishuka, haitwaipanda, wameipeg, no matter what happens. you negotiate something
So-
like that with them and tell them this is the thing that's going to be happening. As long as tunajua kuna broker anakula fee in between, all that money is going to the people in our country, right? Lifts up our economical value because we have
Yeah.
money to spend. We have more money to spend. The more money we have to spend, the more strong our economy is.
So Wave is done.
That gives us
I mean,
yeah,
those are the currencies. Those are the whatever joints are.
I mean, I'm
yeah,
not.
so
Okay, we're not saying that they're done.
I'm not gonna say Wave is done.
All I'm
and
saying is
Diaspora
that
remittance
I think-
companies are done. I think they'll just have to innovate. They have to look forward because remember, these digital currencies are still in their infancy.
Yes.
Even to get to that point where you can send, like a digital, because even the US does not have a digital dollar. They're still on the research phase. The feds are still talking about it.
Okay.
Like there are countries that have gone ahead and they have it. And interestingly, Nigeria is one of them because it has a 60% population of people that are unbanked. So I think that's going to be very beneficial to them. But I think, like if you own, like a money transfer company right now, this is something that you really need to pay attention to because you'll have to give incentive for people to go back to use the system. If we have a system where, like we can send money directly, and it's going to take time before this system is piloted, before it's spread everywhere. So we're not talking about, like 1 year or 2 years. This may take even up to 10 years to be fully functional. Like if now all other countries start adopting this, but that's something that we need to pay attention to. And Tucha says the unique identifier of a digital wallet or bank will have to be biometric. It can't be email or phone number. So that's an interesting point.
Yeah, I kind
But
of
then-
agree
true.
with him because that's
Yeah.
unique to you.
Yeah, that's
Like-
unique
but
to
then,
you.
but then your biometrics are tied to a phone number.
But
You know,
still,
as much
It
as
could
we
be.
try-
It could be.
Let me just, no. Let's be realistic. Yo, Uno Omoshum IT. What is the fastest way for me to look for you?
No, that what you're saying, Mika, is right. What you're saying, Mika, is right. But you see, a phone number can change.
an email, yes.
An email address can change.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
what
they
Tucha
can-
is saying
they can
is
change-
that
they can change, but
the primary identifier will be the biometric.
Mm.
Like
Yes.
do you know
before.
do you know why a biometric can be used to that? As in
How does the other side authenticate it?
job kidogo hapa. Wacha niwe kopi yangu ya job kidogo. One thing that we realized is why a biometric like things like your name, your social, and your biometrics can be used as your main identifier is because we
Oh, PHI.
change. Unaona? Your bio doesn't change. But then one thing is that even if I tag on your bio and then you change your identifiers anywhere else, right? Wewe vile uko ufungue email scan na simu kanne na nipeg on your bio, I can look for 4 different identities. But if I look for your main demographic identifiers, because people tell the demographic identifiers to themselves more than their bio. So basically, your phone number, your home address, and your email are the 3 things that will make somebody find you faster than your biometrics.
Okay, aya, sawa. Wacha we, like we try to wrap up this segment because time
I think there's also issues of privacy
now.
that Mika has brought up there without saying it. The PII.
Yes, but now, and this is a topic that I think we really need to, like dig deeper, like maybe find experts, bring them in the studio, then they can give us a better perspective. And I want to remind the listeners again, you're tuned into the Politics Hour of the One Mic Show. We're talking about the potential of digital currencies as a disruptive technology in changing how we send money back home. Now, later in the hour, we're going to run real quick because our time is running out. We're going to talk about the dangers and risks of ignoring blockchain technology, so stay tuned for that. Please remember to share our live stream and like our Facebook page. We are also now active on both Instagram and YouTube, so please follow, subscribe, and spread the word. Now, before we continue, we have sports coming up in the next hour. Mika, please tell us, what are we going to be talking about?
So today on sports, we are going to be talking about. We cannot miss talking about the Super Bowl, how it was. We cannot miss talking about the halftime show. Hey, nasikia aliyedance akapata alifanywa hip replacement during the week. It's a rumor. I'm not sure about it. I'm just saying it.
He was doing the creep
There's a
walk.
rumor going on.
Creep walk.
Alikuwa amevaa blue.
Alijaribu kupiga creep. yeah, the cripple. But also, we're going to talk about the shambles of the IOC. We have a Russian figure skater who tested positive for drugs, but was allowed to compete and actually go compete for the medal. We're going to compare that about what happened to Sprinter Shakari during the Summer Olympics, and we're going to also talk about the differences, how the IOC handles different doping allegations, and also trying to figure out is it a matter of discrimination, ama ilikuwa nini. So keep it locked.
Okay, asante sana. Now, just to wrap up this segment, OmoshFaya, from a tech perspective, we've heard about coins being stolen or money being lost due to forgotten passwords, in this crypto, in this blockchain world. For those that want to take the crypto direction, what are the risks that they must be aware of?
Well, with crypto, if you forget your password, that's it.
You've lost the money.
You've lost it.
There's no 1-800 number that I
Micah
can call.
Correct me if I'm wrong. It's done. It's a done
kurudi.
deal.
Yeah, man.
Gone. There's no hackers. I don't know who's gone.
But the question is, who keeps that money? Because like if I steal $200 from your wallet, I keep it. So in this case, is there who keeps that money that is lost?
Imelos.
Imelos. The money is in a black hole. Remember, it's in a wallet, right? It's in a black hole, and in order
And
for
only
you
you
to
have-
in order for you to open it, you need the key, but you don't have the key. That's the problem. So it's still
Imelos.
gonna stay there. So the vault is there. You can see the vault. You just can't enter it.
So you see the vault, the money is in there,
Hauna
but you can't.
kifunguo.
You don't have the
Hauna
code.
kifunguo, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people back in the day who were mining, because when crypto started, people used to mine on their own. When there are a lot of guys who mine.
What are the mine? Almost, there are people who are paid by crypto kitambo, a lot of people, and they forgot. They even forgot about it. Like, there are people who had, I know somebody who had to go deep and look for ile unaona hard disk unabeba hivi kwa mkono ukitoka kwa kompyuta yako unavuta unaenda kwa kompyuta ya mtu mwingine.
Yes,
Hard
correct.
disk yako.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know a guy who had Bitcoin in that. He had to look for that hard disk high and low to find his Bitcoin. Like, so ikilost imelost, haipatikani.
Okay.
It's bad.
Okay. Omosh.
So, well, just like I was saying, if you have to consider that, if you don't know what your passwords are, then it's a wrap. And you basically you also need to take into factor the ups and downs of the change in value. We've seen cases where we've had sports figures who are being paid in crypto.
Yeah.
When they started, they were making say 800K, but then somewhere halfway, the value has gone down to 400K. So your salary in essence went down. So
By 50%.
By 50%. And it could still go down again by another 50. So it's volatile. Inaweza juu, inaweza chini. You have to stick it long run. It will hopefully work for you. So if you're somebody who is conservative, it might not necessarily be for you, but it is something that this is the new age, and maybe what you may want to do is use it in certain situations, certain cases, and be aware of the pitfalls. Just like anybody who's trading in stocks, you know that it can go up, it can go down, you can lose your money. So that's basically the way you need to look at it.
So my last piece of advice, as we wrap up this segment, to anyone, like maybe who's not familiar, wants to get into crypto. Myself personally, I don't own any crypto. I have personal reasons why I stay away from them. But to me, I would never discourage anyone from getting into it if you want to get into it. But my only advice is just like any other investment. You should never have, like the total amount of money you have in your investments. You should never have more than 5% in one thing. Be it a stock, be it, think about Facebook, for example. Facebook lost 26% in one day. So think about it. If Facebook, for example, was a stock that was 20% of your portfolio, that portfolio has gone down by such a big percentage. So I don't discourage anyone from owning, crypto, but just make sure it's not more than 5%. That's just it's just a rule of the thumb, whereby you'll still get the benefit if the value goes up, and if it plummets, you're still okay. the thing is, like there are people who I think, make some commissions from these exchanges who try to sell crypto to people. Be very careful with them. Anyone who tells you to buy crypto and tells you that they've been very successful with it, ask them a simple question. What percentage of your total savings are in crypto? Because someone might tell you put 10,000, he has 10,000, but maybe $10,000 is 1% of his savings. $10,000 might be your life savings. So hapo ndo pali unaweza kujikuta ndani ya maji ya moto. And with that said, this is it for the News and Politics Hour. I want to thank the panel for their candid contribution. But stay tuned, because later tonight in the social segment, Uno, remind the viewers, the conversation that we're going to be having in the social segment. Uno.
The conversation is very simple. Would you accept to be a parent with a partner without any strings attached? Meaning you're not married, there's no relationship in terms of, romantic relationship, but, your friend comes and asks, yo, I want to be. Relax. We'll find out. We'll find out later. Mtoto amekuja. Process tutadiscuss. Na makubaliano na the agreement. And that is going to be in the social segment.
Okay, that's going to be in the social segment.
Yes,
Washeke anasema there was a Kenyan who conned people into buying mining machines stored in Iceland. Anyone remember this? I mean, I'm not surprised, but I'm not surprised that someone would come up with such a scheme in Kenya.
Yes.
But I've not heard this story.
Not yet.
Washeke, that seems like an interesting story.
Tupatie link to
Yes. Yeah, and before we go, remember that you need to share our live stream. Our live stream on our Facebook page, YouTube. Tuko ndani ya YouTube. Go subscribe to our YouTube page. We're also active on Instagram.
If you're listening over here and you're not even subscribed, where people
tutaweka hiyo link hapa. Tutaweka hiyo link hapa ndo watu waingie subscribe.
Yes.
Okay? And so remember to subscribe, remember to share, remember to spread the word. Mimi ni mtangazaji wenu Ali Badawy aka Mjukuu wa Masai, and you're still tuned in to the One Mic Show. Uno.
Ladies and gentlemen, mabibi na mabwana, this is still a non-call presentation of the One Mic Show. Remember, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend that the people's Kamkunji is in full effect. DJ Machachari Budabos Gade Omera Abiro Chwadi Matek Maflying Kick. Gade, uko tayari? Tuende kazi.
Toti on the beat.
Ready on the place, ready on the place. Ready on the place, ready on the place. 001. Panda na yo, yeah. Panda na yo, girl, panda, yeah. Panda, yeah. Let me see you switch it up and just shuka na yo. Shuka na yo, girl. Shuka na yo. Shuka na yo, girl, roll it up, baby. Panda na yo, yeah. Panda na yo, girl, panda, yeah. Panda, yeah. Let me see you switch it up and just shuka na yo. Shuka na yo, girl. Shuka na yo. Yeah, shuka na yo, girl, roll it up, my girl. Just panda, soges, panda, leges, panda, chapish, panda, rudish, panda, shukish, panda, ivish, panda, maliza, panda, umiza, panda, teketeza, panda, telesesha, panda, tetemesh, panda, fimezesha. Batman fi call and shout and ball out fi uno. Kingpin a fly the G5 just fi uno. And them a dedica them wish them fi honor. A bad girl inna the place, yeah, fire. Bad girl inna the place, yeah. 001. Panda na yo, yeah. Panda na yo, girl, panda, yeah. Panda, yeah. Let me see you switch it up and just shuka na yo. Shuka na yo, girl. Shuka na yo. Shuka na yo, girl, roll it up, baby. Panda na yo, yeah. Panda na yo, girl, panda, yeah. Panda, yeah. Let me see you switch it up and just shuka na yo. Shuka na yo, girl.
Ni birthday ni party ni yako na maji tunakata juu yako.
cheki ni zako weka mtu na karo pitanga ukikata kata kata kile tu kata kata usiogope leo tunapate watu okote kata 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 kile tu kata kata usiogope leo tunapate watu okote
leo ile siku dudu geuka kipepeo ile siku pako swing na kibembeo ile siku hadi dogezi uweka meow meow nina doza ku throw from ni how Mr. Loco swag kibao wow.